welcome back to Empyrion Galactic Survival. Alright, well, yeah, it's been a while. As a matter of fact, it's been nearly 3 months since the previous episode. All I can say is issues, and I'm going to leave it at that. But, we're back, and yeah, there's been a pretty good sized update recently. And it's changed a few things. Well, let's see. One change you can see right here is that the Tier 2 RCS modules look a lot different. And of course, I have never yet done anything about armoring around the core of the ship, which that's a duh moment. That needs to be done at some point. Just for giggles, let's see, there's been some changes, like, for example, in the tech tree. Not only has there been some new items introduced, but some of the old things have been rearranged. Like, for example, the light blocks and the plant grow light. I had those, but they were rearranged, so I need to unlock them again. Okay, that one already was unlocked, but this one was put here, and I had to unlock it to get the other one. Let's see, the automatic doors, the landing gear blocks, and let's see what else we got here. Thruster blocks M, cannon turret, the rocket turret, flak turret. I could have sworn I had all this unlocked before. And we got thruster blocks L, big, massive honking things. And let's see, thruster blocks XL, which is even bigger. A repair bay. This one is new. This little block is really cool because you park a ship on top of this and shut it down, and this thing repairs it. Yeah. I don't know if it goes so far in those repair efforts as to replace blocks that have been destroyed, but anything that's been damaged gets repaired, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I had that. Pretty sure I had that. But I'm just going to go through here, and I'm going to unlock everything, which is pretty much the way I had it the last time I played, but of course things have changed. Let's see. Yeah, alright. Slide over here and make sure all this is done. Repair bay placeable on a base. An ATM machine. I'm sure this is for the marketplace multiplayer, but I'll unlock it just for the sake of completion. Alright. Small vessel components. Jet thruster. A jet thruster? You telling me a jet engine thruster on a vehicle that's going to be in space? I'd love to see how they made jets work in space. You need an atmosphere for jets. I'm sorry, you do. And for most jets that I've ever heard of, you need an atmosphere. Not only do you need an atmosphere, you need one that has lots of oxygen in it. More jet thrusters. We'll get them. 5 different classes of jet thrusters for small vessels. Wow. I was even unlocking the hover vessels because of completion, but what the heck. I might maybe even go so far as to try a hover vessel sometime, because part of the update is that they have made some serious changes to hover vessels, and they might actually be something approaching viable now. I don't know. I'm going to approach it very skeptically. Alright, automatic mining devices. Oh yeah. This is something I've been looking forward to seeing for a long time. You pop one of these babies down on an ore node, and it mines automatically. And here's this one. The fusion cell. Finally, a reason to actually make hydrogen bottles. Oh yeah. Tools. Anything new here? No. Alright, weapons. What do we got here? Rocket launcher T2. And nothing else. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I know originally that the next step was going to be to head over to Akua Moon and do some things there and then go down to Akua. But, excuse me, Omicron Moon and Omicron. Yeah, that's right. I'm not actually lost. I know where I'm at. Alright, so what I'm going to do instead, however, is I am going to lock target for Akua orbit and maneuver into position for making that trip. And begin to, oh wait a minute, before I try to do anything about moving, I should probably come over here and activate, oh, the thrusters were active. Duh. Yes. That's that funny light coming out of the engines, you know? Yeah, they were active. Okay. And let's activate the warp drive and head back to Akua. That transition needs work. Alright, I'm going to navigate past the asteroid field, get into Akua, and touch down back at my base. And we're down. Alright. Okay. Let's kill the thrusters. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the turrets as well. Okay, good. Oops, wrong view. Okay. We're down. I want to head into the base and see about doing something with some of this new stuff. Okay, let's see here. Now that I've got everything unlocked, let's see. For capital vessels, devices. Oh, here's another new one too. An LCD screen block that you can apparently customize the text on, and so on. Okay, repair bay, placeable on CV. I can't actually make it. Oh, of course, all the power coils and such are on the big ship. So let's go back there to its thing and use a few of them. Oh, jetpack. And it looks to me like I'm going to have to do some work with these lights and tone them down a little bit. It's kind of like super bright or nothing, and that's just too much. I could run around with them turned off, but that doesn't feel right. Okay. Capital vessel components, repair bay, placeable on a CV, go. Hello? Okay. Alright, the progress graphic apparently glitched out on me. Okay, now while I'm at it, small vessels, weapons, let me get a couple of rail guns. How many power coils? Yeah, I can afford a couple of rail guns. Okay, and of course railgun ammunition. That needs railgun bullet, yeah. Show me railgun bullets. Here we are. Alright. that'll be good for that. And other devices, where are they? The auto mining devices, where are you? There we go. Tier 1 looks reasonably cheap. Tier 2, a little more expensive with 2 power coils. Tier 3, 4 power coils. Ah. Alright. Well, never let it be said that I used less than the maximum tier if I didn't have to. So I'm going to put one of those on there as well. And I'll be back when all this crafting is done. Alright. While stuff was crafting, I went around the ship and adjusted all of the lights so that they're not quite as overpoweringly intense. They were defaulting at intensity 2 and range 5 with the color set to straight white. So I turned it over here to this kind of grayish off-white thing, turned the intensity down to 1, turned the range up to 20, and it's still bright in here, yes, but it's not quite as overpoweringly so as it was. Now, let's see. I want to try a few things here. Let's see. Okay. Multi-tool, come on. Oh. One more. And the same thing on this side. There. There. Okay, good. Now, railguns. And over here. There. Now, in addition to the Gatling gun and a whole lot of rocket launchers, we have railguns. Alright, let's ammo box. I believe all of these are full, at least they used to be. Yeah, okay. I'm going to empty out 3 stacks of these and put the railgun bullets in. And these things, just drop them in there. And that'll take care of that. Alright. Now let's see. Power on. Lift up a bit. Stop. And then now let's get out this repair block. And I'm going to mount it on the ship, on the CV, right under where that thing generally lands. So, alright, that should do. Alright, jetpack. Turn it. I should have left it on. Oh, for crying out loud. There we go. Okay, it's over the repair block. And now let's see. Repair bay. Currently repairing nothing, but it is active and powered. Alright. Let's get out the multi-tool and go. Whoa. That's not going to qualify for getting repaired. Oh. Hello. Okay, the thing is doing stuff. And apparently it's done now. The problem is I have to get a hardened steel block to place in that spot because all I wanted to do was a little bit of minor damage that it could repair, but this multi-tool was apparently not the thing I should have used to do that. Oh well. Combat steel, hardened steel, there we go. Fortunately, I have plenty of materials on hand. Alright, good as new. Okay, so that seems to work out. In any event, it looks like I'm going to be waiting for full daylight. Okay, I just noticed that they've changed the layout of the constructor a little bit. And now you have your constructor queue, but your inventory up here, and a separate output inventory. That's cool. Because that way when you make stuff, it goes here, and the machine can apparently draw from this output inventory, but by taking stuff that you specifically ask for and put it there, you don't have to hunt through this pile of stuff in the main inventory. Alright, now what I've done here is I've made some oxygen hydrogen generators, 20 of them, and I'm going to put them down and fuel them up before heading out, because I want to put together enough hydrogen to make some fusion cells. Yeah, so let's head outside. And mount these suckers and put some fuel in them. And I figure, okay, helmet is on. Let's just go ahead and set these. Alright, just set these things in the water and access the inventory. First one disappears, and I got about 4 more. And just do that for all 20 of these things, so that they will be making up. See, what they do is they make oxygen and hydrogen. Bottles of oxygen and bottles of hydrogen. Hello. Get in there. Alright. And then the oxygen bottles, well, you use them for the same thing you use any oxygen bottles for. And the hydrogen bottles, combine them with promethium pellets, and you get fusion cells. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to get these things placed. Alright, now that those things are all positioned and running, crank this thing up, and we'll just back out of here. Now, if I recall correctly, somewhere off to the southwest of here, there is a promethium deposit. So head back that way, and we're gonna do some promethium mining. Discovered copper. I thought I'd discovered all the deposits on this planet a long time ago. I guess somehow that stuff got reset in the update. A new copper deposit, and here's the promethium deposit. Right in the general area where I expected it to be. We've got a deposit of promethium that has never been mined. And I'd say it's just a little bit ahead of the center gun on the ship. How about... Well, that wasn't too slick. I don't believe I did that. I've managed to let this thing roll completely upside down, and now it doesn't seem to. There we go. Roll that sucker over. Okay. Derpy piloting fail. Brought to you by Tinfoilchef. Oy. Alright, instead of just cutting the power like a dim bulb, how about bring it in here close and set the thing down? It's not like you have to be super duper accurate. I mean, these deposits aren't exactly tiny. Okay, now, automatic mining device. And we'll just set this thing down here pretty much in front of the ship. Okay, let's open its inventory, throw in some fuel packs, and it is now mining. We have a source quality of 20%, 80 promethium per hour, and there's enough fuel there for 13 hours and 7 minutes. And it's looking like every 40 or 45 seconds or so it's going to be producing something. Alright, it ate the first one. We'll give it another fuel pack so it's got a full stock. 14 hours. Alright. Not the super fastest thing in the world, but it's automatic, which means I could be working on something else while this is doing its thing. But then again, and here's the thing that I think could very likely get fixed. And that is that now that this thing is down there, I could take my mining drill and I could go down here and, whoops, well maybe not right there. I could drill down here and mine out this whole deposit. From what I've read, once this thing is started doing its thing, I could head down here, find the promethium, here we are, and mine out the entire deposit, and yet that thing would still be mining up, or auto-mining promethium. Now you could easily say that the deposit that I could mine with the drill is the surface part of it that I could actually reach, and that this thing is doing some kind of deep mining from a depth of the planet that I couldn't ever get to. At least that's one theory I have that could explain how it's working like this. Another theory, of course, is that it could be a bug and the thing just simply isn't quite working as intended. But there you go. Okay. Now, I did have a little bit of difficulties, and I'm going to let this thing go for a while, and so on, and be checking in on it later. Yeah. I bet you I'm level now. I'm on an even plane with that thing. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to let that go for a while and check in on it before I end the video. I need to go kind of northeast-ish. Might as well head back to base. I did have some difficulty in getting started after the update, because one of the things that had been implemented in the time that I was away from the game was they put in some kind of limits, some weapon limits, as in certain classes of ship, or basically ships could only have just so much of any of certain kinds of weapons, like for example minigun turrets, of which there are like a dozen or so currently on the Prometheus. The limit is that a ship can have 6 minigun turrets. And as I understand it, the main reason for this is part of balancing in multiplayer. And that's all fine and dandy. That's just great. But this is a single player game. And it shouldn't be affected by things that are multiplayer. And I kind of really think that something that is intended to balance multiplayer really doesn't have much anything to do with a single player situation. That ship was built legitimately, and with that change, if one of those minigun turrets was destroyed, I would not be able to replace it. I did some looking around, however, and I found out that there was an option in the configuration file for a dedicated server that allowed the server admin to set that option in the config file and disable the weapon limits. So I decided, why not? I got a hold of the dedicated server and set it up here on my local machine and moved the save over to it and set the config up. The weapons limits are disabled and Prometheus is safe. If something gets blown off, it can be replaced. And I figured that's perfectly reasonable. Along the lines of my game, my rules, or along the lines of, hey, I started this thing without such limits, I don't want them. Especially if they're primarily aimed at balancing multiplayer games, which I can see that could be a thing. You know, you get this huge, humongous Borg cube with 11 bajillion guns on it. Who's going to be able to have any chance of fighting that? Answer? Nobody. Yeah, I get that. So, all right, but such things, there really should have been an option in single player games to turn that off for single player games from the get-go. In fact, for single player, it should have defaulted to off. But that's my opinion. And you know what? You know about opinions, and you know what they're like, and so on. So, all right, I'm gonna kick back, kill some time, maybe work on the base lights, because I'm sure they're just as bright as the ones in Prometheus. I don't know what it is about the update that made the lights so doggone bright, but yeah, I mean, they didn't used to be. At least I don't think so. All right, be back in a bit. All right, here we are, back here at this place. As you can see from the hole in the ground here, that I actually came back here and I completely mined out all of the promethium that was in this little spot right here. Got every last drop of it. And since then, I have left the dedicated server running. I logged off and left it running for several hours, like 6 or 7 hours or something like that. And if we look in here, it's got 6 hours and 10 minutes left out of the, I think it was 14 hours or something that it had when I set it up. And there is a stack plus 6 of promethium ore sitting here. I'm going to go ahead and throw some more fuel packs in there. Gives it another 13 hours and 40 minutes. It's still producing 80 per hour. So I'm going to let it do that. And the main point of doing this was to prove what I had heard, to test what I had heard about the thing continuing to extract ore even when the deposit is gone. Now, there are a number of theoretical ways in which that could be explained. You could claim some kind of deep ore or something like that, or whatever other form of pseudoscience or magic you wanted to use to explain it with. But the whole point of the thing is, that's a game mechanic, it works, and I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to leave that thing there, and I'm going to try my best to make sure that it has lots of fuel to last a long time. Now, with that in mind, I am going to head back to base and I'm going to start processing this promethium that I just picked up, along with the promethium that I picked up that I mined out of that thing. I think it was like 2,600 promethium that I got out of it when I mined all that stuff out, and it's providing me with plenty more to go with it. So I'm going to mine that all out. Well, I have mined it. I'm going to refine it all, and I'm going to probably put down more of these oxygen-hydrogen bottle generators, because it seems to me that they're running kind of slow, and so in order to ensure that I actually have enough to do this in a timely fashion, I'm going to put down more generators and generate the hydrogen bottles that much faster. And yeah, and that way I will be able to produce copious amounts of fusion power cell packs, and that's going to be what the Prometheus is running on after this point. Yeah, I mean, still got the large promethium packs, still going to keep using them because they're good, but I think from here out I'm going to make the fusion cells, and I'm going to get working on that, and we'll have an update in a day or 3. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I am out of here.